Hi, everyone. Thank you for checking out this video. I'm very excited because we're about to give you a nice preview of a really great event coming up here in just a few weeks as well. In Chicago from June 26th to the 28th, I'm going to be joining Samsara at their Beyond 24 event. And hey, you know me, I'm all things freight tech, all things nerding out on the technology that's available today. And I think of all the companies that can put a nice freight tech event together, this is one to do that. And we're going to dive into some of the themes of the show as well. And with that, actually, I want to introduce you to the president of worldwide field operations at the company, Laura Cami. Thank you so much for joining me on this preview today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to have this conversation, and I'm so excited for Beyond and everything that we've got planned there.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time for everyone to, after this, go check it out at samsarabeyond.com. But again, this is going to be a nice preview for everyone. So before we dive into it, I'd love for you to really introduce yourself and what your role is at Samsara as well, and what you're expecting from the event.
Yeah, so my name is Laura Cami. I'm the president of Worldwide Field Operations. I've been at the company for about a year, and I lead all of the go-to-market functions. So everything from sales to post-sales, touching our customers, making our customers successful. And so I'm so excited for this event because it's a great opportunity to bring leaders in, field operations in the world of physical operations together to really talk about what Samsara can do to help them solve what really are, I think, evergreen and common goals for their organizations, driving safety, efficiency, and sustainability. And we're so excited for the event because we're going to bring, thousands of people together to listen to our CEO and our product teams talk about what's coming from Samsara, but also listen to fantastic customers out there. So we've got a lot of different customer keynotes. We've got, let me get the names here, DHL, Univar, US Logistics, discussing themes like, how our technology can create better and safer jobs, how they can really use data to drive real results in their operations, and how we can execute change management. As we know, this is about driving human behavior change for thousands of frontline workers. And so sharing those best practices is really a great opportunity. And I find that so many customers come together and really share stories, share examples, and they're all taking notes on what they can do to raise the bar in their own operations. And then, of course, I'm a huge basketball fan. So I'm really excited for our outside keynote speaker, Magic Johnson, who's going to share his stories about, his career and how his own skills and tenacity from the court have applied, more broadly in the business world for him. So it really is going to be a great conference, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Hey, you don't have to convince me with Magic. I'm a Michigan State graduate. Go green, go white till I die. And actually, it's from where I'm at right now. Grew up a couple of blocks from where I'm sitting today. So I'm excited. It's going to be a nice family experience for me, but also the technology side as well. And I'm happy that you brought up change management in particular, because I think with so many offerings that are out there today, I always tell people the most important thing to look for in an offering is the partnership and the community that you're joining. And what I think is really great about Beyond is that this is a chance for everyone to come together and build that community and hear from fellow customers of yours and what's worked for them and what's not, and how to implement this technology, especially I'm sure with some of the customers that you're serving, right? There's a big change in operations, kind of getting out of your comfort zone. So it's like bring everyone together in one place and talk about problems and not only that, but the future, and go figure beyond, right, of what they can experience as a customer. I think is going to be great. I'd love for you to really explain how you in particular, and especially those that you're guiding at the company as well, are helping leaders gain that visibility into their operations today and what that could look like in the future as well.
Yeah, well, I think, a huge part of this is about data, right? It's bringing data visibility into parts of their operations where maybe they didn't have data at all, or maybe the data wasn't reliable, wasn't consistent, and having accurate data about how your operations run actually allows you to make better decisions and drive better business results at the end of the day. And so we're really proud of what we're doing. We think the quality of our data is incredibly high. And we also have, a ton of data out there. So like already there's this huge, I think we have trillions of data points now coming into the platform. And, there really is a flywheel around data. So the more data that you have, obviously AI is something that everybody's talking about, that data is actually what powers the AI models to be better and better and more accurate. And so, and when you think about an AI model, I think safety is a really great example to sort of bring it to life for people. So, take, in-cab cameras as an example. We're running AI models that are predicting all sorts of things. So is a driver wearing a seatbelt? Is a driver drowsy, for instance? Drowsiness is a complicated AI model because there's lots of things that indicate drowsiness in human behavior. It's, our eyes dilating, are you yawning? Are you, scratching your head? Are you stretching? There's lots of things that correlate to, is the driver drowsy or not? And so, as you might imagine, if you have more data, you have more accurate AI, and therefore when the technology beeps at you or says, please, pull off, or please, put your phone down, or whatever the thing is, if it's inaccurate, the humans will ignore it, right? And it'll just become noise in the background. And really what drives outcomes in physical operations is changing human behavior across thousands of frontline workers. And so you need accuracy. So we're really, really proud of what the data does that, helps helps operators make better decisions across lots of things, whether it's maintenance, fuel usage, safety, sustainability, or just efficiency, how are my assets utilized, et cetera. There's lots of business outcomes and business decisions that can be driven by data, but the accuracy of data really, really matters. And I think that's a great example.
Oh, a huge example. I personally am a stretcher. That's my hidden key that I need a little bit more sleep. I like to stretch it out a little bit, and I'm sure for everyone it's different, right? So to like learn those behaviors over time and to then put action behind that is huge. And you touched on the operations as well, because the one thing that's always fascinated me, especially on the trucking and driving side of this business, is reporting on this stuff too, like how small the margins are, like how high an operating ratio is for a trucking company. Like there is no room for error. And now place that business model right in the market that we're seeing today after such a couple of years, right after the pandemic of success, to see that huge swing that the drivers are just like barely getting through today. I think it's even more important, right, that they have that data around them to make sure there's no waste or no truck that's deadheading certain miles that shouldn't be. Can you discuss a little bit what you're hearing from operators directly on where they're looking to implement those type of operations and mindful of waste and sustainability within their operating models?
Yeah, I think there are so many great examples of the way customers are leveraging data to drive better outcomes. Again, whether it's across safety, across efficiency, across sustainability, all of those are kind of pillars that we think will, they're evergreen. They will always be things that, physical operations companies are looking to solve and to improve upon, because as you said, you've got large budgets, but you have thin margins, and you need to continue to raise the bar to be competitive, to, retain drivers, et cetera. One example that I really appreciate, and this will be a customer that's at Beyond, is DHL. And so, they implemented the technology and they were really trying to drive a safety program, right? And so they saw a 26% reduction after, deploying Samsara. They saw a 26% reduction in accidents. But what was really interesting is, as anybody knows, you're driving these big trucks, that they can be incredibly costly, these accidents. So there's a 50% reduction in accident-related costs because it actually prevented the most severe accidents. But what was super interesting, and I think maybe unexpected, was because it wasn't just about the technology. It was about, again, changing the way humans do their work and changing human behavior. They really drove a safety culture related to this change and implementing this. And as a result, drivers felt cared for, right? And they actually saw a 50% reduction in driver turnover, which I think is remarkable. I mean, having skilled drivers or skilled whatever your frontline workers are is so important. And so seeing a reduction like that from driving a safety program is I think really incredible. And I think it's an example of how these programs, you can go after kind of one goal or one benefit, but actually by leveraging data you can see so many more benefits along the line.
Love that. I just this past weekend hosted a Michigan trucking driving championship, and the number one thing they brag about is safety miles, right? That's how many millions of miles do they have behind their back. And I think that showcases to drivers in particular how much they take that safety seriously, and the pride that they show in the work that they do as well. So to be able to promote that, but also help a company like take that next step into what the future of this industry holds and the technology that's available I think is key. And I'm really excited. I think everyone who works with the company should definitely consider going to this event here in the next couple of weeks, because again, it's that partnership. It's like, let's be honest. So the average trucking company that I know of, large and small, is mostly operated by executives who have been either trucking their whole lives or in some type of sales. And so to enter this more digital space, I think we all can kind of sit back and say we need a little bit of help in that regards. And so again, this, I think, is going to be the perfect conference. Go through the agenda and read all these different areas and discussions that are going to be touched on, because it's probably something that you've dealt with. I mean, even down to like DEI initiatives I saw is on the agenda. So we get into all types of things here in a couple of weeks. From your perspective, though, if there's someone who's, sitting on the fence about coming to the event, why should they consider coming? And what are you looking for them to benefit from participating as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think, what we're finding is leaders across all sorts of industry segments. So trucking, but frankly beyond, physical operations is about 40% of our GDP. And what's so interesting is the businesses are different, but the problems that they're trying to solve are similar. And so there are actually really interesting lessons that can be shared, whether it's about driving a safety culture or, efficiency gains, or maybe it's about hitting sustainability goals and filling out that ESG report, right? There's lots of lessons of how different customers are leveraging this technology. And so, as you said before, we've seen now across thousands and 20,000 customers what best practices look like. We're there to kind of highlight them and showcase them. But so much of this is about customers meeting customers and networking and sharing their own stories. So we've got, as I said, customers doing keynotes, lots of great kind of breakout topics, talking about our technology roadmap. But also, we have our Connected Operations Awards. So people who are really doing amazing things. And as you said, everyone's trying to raise the bar in their operations. So, folks have bold goals and bold aspirations for what they can do to drive better, more safer operations, more efficient operations, more sustainable operations. And so figuring out how to do that and learn from others is great. And so our in-person event is sold out this year. So if you are coming, if you've talked to your account team, that's awesome. Otherwise, everything is digital, and there is a virtual live stream that's highlighting all of these events. So I'd encourage you to, at a minimum, check out the agenda and join the virtual live stream, which we're really excited about. We think the content's going to be really, really useful.
Oh, it's like I said, it ranges for everything from clearly the technology aspect to operations to even just building diverse teams and the power of that. And I'm excited. It's going to be a great time. I want to thank you and the team for inviting me. You guys can find me in the podcast studio interviewing some amazing leaders in the space. You'll find me walking around asking questions like you normally see me doing that at our wonderful events. So again, I just want to thank you, Laura, for inviting FreightWaves to be a part of this. And again, sounds like you'll get a chance to see some of the content as well. But for everyone going, get excited. Reach out to me if you want to chat as well. Reach out, of course, to the teams that you work with at Samsara, and we'll see you all here in a couple of weeks.
All right. Thank you, Grace. Looking forward to seeing you there.